Hey y'all, hey. So today's video is going to be kind of different for me, so I'm just going to get into it. So I am going to share with you some of my favorite products to use that I use them, but kind of like in the background. They're not like some of my forefront products. So I do want to talk about some of these products that I use that I absolutely love. So lately, after I set with my setting sprays, I've been going in as a final finish with the Smoke and Mirrors finishing sprays, and they are setting sprays infused with green tea. So they have a matte finish, which is actually the finish I use today. So I did use my one size setting spray to set my face, but when I finished with all products, finished with all the other sets, I go in very lastly with the Smoke and Mirrors matte finish, or the Smoke and Mirrors dewy finish. This is one that I like if I'm like going out at night. I like how it just gives you this, you know, sparkly dewy look. And this is my all-time favorite in this group, the Radiant finish. So this is the finish I use the most, and that just gives you exactly what it says, a radiant finish. Okay. Alright, next I'm going to do some of my favorite brushes to use. And I have so many brushes, just like piles and piles of brushes over here. So I'm just going to grab a couple of my favorite, no specific rhyme or reason as I grab them other than they over here in the clean section, okay? So one of my absolute favorites is the 1006 brush. Now I have the entire, I believe this is the Serve and Face set from Lashing Out Glam. So I think I have the 1006, the 1002, the 1004, and it's one other little smaller brush. Can't remember the number, but I have that one as well. But yeah, this is one of my absolute favorite brushes to use. Definitely get you some brushes from Lashing Out Glam, and you're going to see a couple of the Lashing Out Glam brushes that I like the next one. This is the B16 brush, which is a blending brush by Lashing Out Glam. And what I love about these brushes, and I'll show you, this one comes in, I believe it was like maybe a 14-piece set. I can't remember, I'm not sure. I have so many of these brushes, but this is one of the blended brushes, but they also come with the packing brushes as well. And one of my absolute favorite packing brushes should be right over here. Hold on. Okay, so here is the P07 brush by Lashing Out Glam, and I really like this brush. I use this brush when I do eyes like this a lot. So when I'm putting on different shimmers on my lid, and I don't have a lot of lid space, so this fits perfectly into my little creases. And right now I have on 4 different shimmer colors on my eye, and it's so much easier to pack those colors on and be able to disperse them evenly as the way I want them on my lid with this P07 brush, which is a packing brush from Lashing Out Glam. Alright, and here is one of the brushes from Respect the Crown. I love to use this particular brush. I don't know if this is numbered. Yes, it is number 10. So it's the Respect the Crown number 10 brush. I like to use this brush for different reasons. I use this brush sometimes to apply my foundation. I use this brush sometimes a lot of times to apply my liquid contour, my cream contour, to blend those in. I absolutely love this brush. I love how it points. I like a lot of brushes that point like this because you can get into spaces that you can't get into with a full round brush. Okay, so no way we're going to talk brushes without talking the silicone press brushes by Ducky Cosmetics. So I opened up a fresh pack for y'all so y'all can see them all in one space, because I have them kind of spread all out, but I have several packs of these. So again, Ducky Cosmetics, I definitely, if you want to shop, duckycosmetics.com, and you should definitely before the year end while the sales are sailing. Right now you don't need a code, but if there's a product that you need a code for, just use code Nikki so you can take advantage of a discount, okay? But here you go. So these brushes have different points. You can use them different ways. I like to use this particular brush, which is the P5 brush, to get into those corners when I'm applying pigments and glitters. This brush right here is the P1 brush, and you can see the angle on this brush is pointed like a triangle, and that's different. This is also good for corners, but it's also really good for your Cupid's bow. It fits perfectly in your Cupid's bow, so I like to use that when I'm working with those areas. And any of these brushes you can use interchangeably to use them any kind of way you want. This is just how I choose to use them and for what I choose to use them for. This is the P4 brush by Ducky Cosmetics, the press brush. And the P4 brush I actually use on my lids, similar to how I was explaining to you how I use the P7 brush by Lash Out Glam to apply a lot of the pressed glitters and or powders. And then P3 brush from Ducky Cosmetic, and this one is really good in my opinion to get on that brow bone. So I like to apply the pigments and or glitters with this brush. This one is the P2 brush, and this one for me, being it nice and rounded, is perfect for applying to the cheeks. Perfect if you can even, you know, to use the Cupid's bow. I prefer to use the other one because it shapes perfectly into my Cupid's bow. But this is good for your chin as well. It's definitely good for your forehead, and it's good to come down your nose. But I also like to use the P5 brush to come down my nose as well. So that's just a few of the brushes. And this is the 888 concealer brush by Ducky Cosmetics, and I like to use this brush to apply my concealer on my eyes, on my cheeks, and I also use it to cut my crease. It works really good to cut your crease as well. So all right, to end this segment for today, I'm gonna use two of the palettes that I actually use today, and they're two palettes which is newer in my palette collection, but one is the Crayoncase News of the World palette. I use that today to do the eyes. I use the shimmers from the palette as well. So here's what that palette looks like. As you can see, it's a very gorgeous palette. I think we used today six of the colors today, or seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of the colors today on the eye. I really like this palette, and I'm not really a big simple nude girl, but as you can see, nice simple look, but still with a lot of pizzazz, and that's coming from the shimmers in this palette, and I really enjoyed using this palette today. And then I also used for the powder blush out of this particular blush palette from the Crayoncase as well. And we use these two colors combined together on the cheeks right here. Let's smooth that for you. So these are the two colors that we applied on the cheeks today. Look, you see how pigmented it is? I just barely swiped it accidentally and it's on my finger. So there you go. I'll do more of these videos, and I'll get with y'all real soon on another video where I just simply go through some of the things that I don't show a lot, you know, or they're not necessarily always included in my transition videos, but that I absolutely love, or things that I just use maybe more off camera than on camera, and I like to cover those. I have so many products that I love. I focus a lot on the indie brands because they're most important to me, but yeah, I'll keep them coming.